Welcome to Cyber Bites, your weekly dose of cybersecurity news. This is Edwin Kwan from Sydney, Australia. I'm your host today, and we've got some juicy stories that'll make you think twice about your online safety. Let's dive in. Our first headline is a real showstopper, quite literally. Hackers have leaked nearly 39,000 print-at-home Ticketmaster tickets for upcoming events. The group behind this digital heist, calling themselves Spider Hunters, claims these tickets can bypass Ticketmaster's anti-fraud measures because they're printable versions, not mobile barcodes. Now, let's paint a picture here. Imagine you're all excited, heading to see your favorite band. You've got your ticket, you're queuing up outside the venue, and suddenly you realize you're one of hundreds with the exact same seat number. It's like a twisted game of musical chairs, but nobody's laughing. This leak could potentially create a denial of service situation at events. We could see venues overwhelmed with fans holding seemingly legitimate tickets only to be turned away at the door. Or worse, events could end up dangerously overcrowded. Ticketmaster's staying surprisingly quiet on how they plan to address this leak. They insist their security features can prevent these leaked tickets from working, but the situation remains tense. If you are planning to attend a big event soon, my advice: double check your ticket's legitimacy and maybe have a backup plan, just in case. This incident really highlights the vulnerability of our ticketing systems. It's not just about protecting against counterfeit tickets anymore. It's about safeguarding entire databases of digital tickets. It's a stark reminder that our increasingly digital world, even a fun night out, can be compromised by cybercriminals. Now, let's shift gears and dive into the world of Apple apps. A major security flaw was discovered in CocoaPods, a tool used by millions of Apple developers. This vulnerability, which has been lurking in the shadows for nearly a decade, could have allowed attackers to launch devastating supply chain attacks. For those not familiar with CocoaPods, think of it as a massive library of pre-built components that developers use to create apps. It's like a supplier providing building blocks for app developers. The vulnerability arose because these unclaimed code packages, called pods, remained accessible. An attacker could have hijacked these unclaimed pods, inject malicious code, and unknowingly distribute it to millions of users through unsuspecting developers. This is a textbook example of a supply chain attack. Just like a poison ingredient from a supplier can contaminate a whole batch of food, attackers can compromise entire ecosystems by targeting foundational tools like CocoaPods. The potential impact is enormous. Apps from industry giants like Apple, Meta, and Amazon could have been laced with malware, putting user data and device security at risk. It's like finding out the foundation of your house has been compromised for years. You thought you were safe, but all along there was a potential for disaster. Thankfully, there's no evidence this vulnerability has been exploited yet, but it serves a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities lurking within our increasingly interconnected software world. The fact that such a critical flaw remains hidden for almost a decade underscores the need for stricter security measures throughout the software development chain. It's a wake-up call for the entire industry to be more vigilant about open source software dependencies and to demand better security practices from software providers who rely on third-party code. Moving on to our next story, let's talk vacation planning. Booking.com users beware. There's been a rise in scams targeting the platform, from phishing emails to hijacked chats and fake listings. These scams aim to steal personal information, money, or trick you into paying for non-existent accommodations. As someone who used Booking.com, I can tell you these scams are getting sneakier. I've personally encountered a situation similar to the hijacked chat scam. While booking a stay, I received a message through the platform claiming to be from the property owner. They mentioned a slight change in the agreed upon price due to unexpected fees and requested an additional payment. Luckily, something felt off, and upon contacting the property directly, I discovered it was a fake attempt to collect extra money. So, how can you protect yourself? Always be cautious of unsolicited messages. Verify communication sources, avoid clicking suspicious links, and prioritize booking and payments through the official platform. Remember, a little extra vigilance can save you a major headache and financial loss during your vacation. In government news, a US board tasked with investigating major cybersecurity attacks have dropped the ball on the SolarWinds hack. This 2020 attack by Russian hackers was a big deal, infiltrating US government agencies through a flaw in Microsoft software. It was a major wake-up call, highlighting critical security weaknesses in our national infrastructure. The Biden administration has ordered the board to review the incident, but instead it focuses on other vulnerabilities. It's like ignoring a leaky faucet only to end up with a flooded house later. Some experts believe a full investigation into SolarWinds could have exposed security flaws at Microsoft that were later exploited by Chinese hackers in 2023. This missed opportunity highlights a crucial gap in our national cybersecurity strategy. The board, housed within the Department of Homeland Security, claims it fulfilled its mandate. However, critics argue the board lacked independence due to composition and limited resources. Finally, in an unexpected turn of events, the hacking group BrainCypher has apologized for attacking Indonesian government systems. They even released an encryption key to decrypt the stolen data. The group claimed they were just security testing, but their $8 million ransom demands suggest otherwise. This attack disrupted essential government services and potentially exposed sensitive data. The lack of proper backups has raised serious concerns about the government's data security practices. It's like leaving your house keys under the doormat and being surprised when someone breaks in. BrainCypher criticized the Indonesian government for not prioritizing cybersecurity spending and using outdated security software. While their methods are certainly questionable, they've inadvertently exposed some serious flaws in Indonesia's cybersecurity infrastructure. The incident has led to public outrage, with a petition calling for the resignation of the communications minister gaining significant support. It's a stark reminder that cybersecurity isn't just an IT issue. It can have real-world consequences that affect millions of people. As we wrap up this week's Cyber Bites, let's take a moment to reflect on these stories. From concert tickets to government systems, from vacation bookings to app development, cybersecurity touches every aspect of our digital lives. It's not just about protecting our data, it's about maintaining the integrity of the systems we rely on every day. Remember, in the digital world, a little paranoia can go a long way. Stay vigilant, keep your software updated, and think twice before clicking that link or downloading that attachment. That's all for this week's Cyber Bites. Until next time, stay safe in cyberspace, and we'll catch you next week for another round of digital drama and security insights. This is your host, Edwin Kwan, signing off.